kita guys, sanggup ba?
Before we begin, let's introduce our group members. Our group consists of Adeline Janet Adelaide, Elisandra Marie Lajaib, Alia Akila, and Marilyn Jane Thomas. Now let's get into the video.
Do you all know that there are approximately 9 types of elephant species can be found in this world? There are African bush elephant, African forest elephant, Borneo elephant, Indian elephant, Sri Lankan elephant, Sumatran elephant, Syrian elephant, and wild elephant. There are so many of them, so how we gonna distinguish all of it? First is by their habitat and distribution. Different types of elephant will widely distributed in either Saharan Africa, South Asia, and Southeast Asia. All of it will have the different habitats include savannas, forests, deserts, and marshes. Next is by observing their tusks. Usually, male Asian elephants such as Indian elephant, Sri Lankan elephant, and Borneo elephant will possess a pair of tusks on the side of mouth. Meanwhile, the female of Asian elephant doesn't have any tusks. Oppositely, for African elephants, both male and female will possess a pair of tusks. Therefore, to know more about some of the elephant species, we have visited the Zoo Lok Kawi Sabah in our last weekend field trip. For our information, Zoo Lok Kawi is located at Putatan, Sabah and has been open to public since 17 February of 2007 under development of Sabah Wildlife Department. Other than serving as one of the tourism attractions in Sabah, the opening of Zoo Lok Kawi has its mission as a welfare care center to rescue the endangered species of animals. Therefore, some of the animals in the Zoo Lok Kawi were previously rescued and the others were donated and handed in by the public. The interesting part in our field trip is we could meet the group of Bornean Pygmy Elephant, or can be known by its specific name, Elephas maximus borneensis, which are the smallest of Asian elephants. There are 14 species of Bornean Pygmy Elephant conserved in Zoo Lok Kawi. As the welfare center, Zoo Lok Kawi is completed with the professional dedicated caregiver or trainer, full medication aid, and the arranged schedule of cleaning and feeding session for the captivated animals, mainly elephants. In addition, the place of animals in Zoo Lok Kawi have the similar condition with the local habitat. This is to make sure that all of the animals can adapt to the new environment. As an example, for the elephant, their habitat in zoo is completed with shaded area, big space to roaming around, and big water puddle for them to play with water and bathing.
The social behavior in elephant 2.1 parental care. After giving birth, the mother elephant invests a significant amount of time and effort in taking care for their young. In nurturing, elephants have a long gestation period which lasts around 22 months. The mother is highly protective and keeps their young closer to them. This is to ensure their young's safety and providing nourishment. In parental care also, elephants protect the young from potential threats or harm. When their young face danger, adult elephants form a defensive circle around them and act as a shield. They also use their size and strength to prevent predators or potential dangers. Next, in learning and guidance, the mother elephants also provide guidance and they teach their young the essential skills to thrive in their environment. The young will observe and imitate the behavior from the mother and the older siblings. The behavior that they imitate, such as survival skills, social interactions, and foraging behavior. In the herd also, the young elephants receive lots of attentions and affection from the mother. This is because these connections go beyond blood relatives and it will strengthen the herd's sense of community.
Now moving on to the eating behaviors of the Bornean elephants. Firstly, the Bornean elephants has an herbivorous diet, meaning they primarily consume plants. This can include grasses, leaves, shoots, bark, and fruits from different plant species. Other than that, through our observation, these elephants have shown selective feeding behavior. What this means is that they choose certain plant species over others. They have been observed to prefer certain types of grasses, young shoots, and leaves that are more nutritious and palatable. Selective feeding helps them optimize their energy intake and meet their dietary requirements. Next, Elephants, including Bornean elephants, have high food requirements due to their large size and active lifestyle. They can consume a significant amount of food each day, often exceeding 100 kg of plant materials. Meeting their nutritional needs requires continuous foraging and feeding throughout the day. Moreover, Bornean elephants are social animals and often live in small family groups. When it comes to feeding, they may engage in cooperative behavior, moving together as a group to locate food resources. Feeding in groups can provide protection against predators and enable the sharing of knowledge about food sources. It's important to note that the specific eating behavior of Bornean elephants may vary depending on factors such as food availability, habitat conditions, and interactions with other species. Further research and field observations are necessary to gain a comprehensive understanding of their feeding ecology and its implication for their conservation and habitat management.
Elephants face several threats in both the wild and captivity. Here are some major threats and potential ways to address them. Poaching and illegal wildlife trade. Elephants are targeted for their ivory tusks, which drives illegal poaching and the illicit wildlife trade. Next, climate change and habitat degradation occurs. Climate change poses significant challenges to elephant population through impacts on their habitats, such as changing rainfall patterns, reduced water availability, and increased frequency of extreme weather events. Human-elephant conflict. As human population expand, conflict between elephants and communities arise, often due to the competition of resources and crop raiding. Lastly, habitat loss and fragmentation. The encroachment of human settlement, agriculture, and infrastructure development result in the loss and fragmentation of elephant habitats. These are all the major threats to the elephants, and there are several ways to address these threats. First would be protect and restore elephant habitats by establishing protected areas, implementing land use planning, considering wildlife corridors, and promoting sustainable practices. Next, enforce rigorous anti-poaching measures, increase patrols, improve law enforcement, impose harsh penalties, and raise public awareness to combat ivory poaching and illegal wildlife trade. Next, mitigate human-elephant conflicts by constructing physical barriers, employing trained response teams, promoting community-based conservation initiatives, and providing alternative livelihoods. Lastly, address climate change through global efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and implement local measures like habitat restoration, water management, and climate-resilient conservation strategies.
In conclusion, the Bornean elephant, a subspecies of the Asian elephant, holds significant ecological, cultural, and conservation value. The social behavior of Bornean elephants exhibits fascinating and complex dynamics, reflecting their highly social nature. Understanding the social behaviors of Bornean elephants is crucial for their conservation and management. Preserving the natural heritage represented by the Bornean elephant is not only essential for the species itself, but also for the overall health and integrity of the Bornean ecosystems. By valuing and protecting these magnificent creatures, we contribute to the conservation of biodiversity, maintain ecological balance, and uphold the cultural and aesthetic significance they hold for local communities and the future generations.
That's all from us. Thank you.
Everyone's lining up to see it.